Hello everybody, Dave here for the next episode of Dave Gets Wood, which if you've watched the previous one, you will now know the update has not finished. It has got less than 50%, but I reckon we've got time to get this in. So we'll get the next coat on, and then we're a step closer. Okay, I'm not going to hang about on this one, just crack on and get in there. Right, let's go. That way, that's a bit, give myself a little bit more room. Interestingly, in COVID news, that vaccines have been rolling out for a while. It's weird to think it has been over, well no, just coming up to a year since the first lockdown began, and I mean we are technically still in a lockdown, but there are hopes of that lifting. It was in March. I can't remember exactly when. I think I didn't watch the news reports, so not been keeping up with it. Got to the point where it was just too depressing to keep hearing all the different stuff about it. But it is good that the vaccines have been going out. My folks have had theirs. I think one or two of the sister-in-laws have had theirs, and they've had health conditions. So that's good. I mean, I'm interested to know with the vaccine as well. I suppose they don't know for certain, but I am interested to know whether it's once you've had the vaccine, that's it, you're safe. You can't get it and you can't transmit it, or the vaccine is a helping hand in fighting it rather than a cure. I can't say I know either way. Because, well, I suppose, I mean, if it's a cure and you can't get it or transmit it, then those that have had it are safe to venture, surely. But I guess we shall have to wait and see. I was trying to look and see if I'm happy with what the cloth is doing. I'm not 100% sure, if I'm honest. But we'll keep going for now anyway, at least for these ones. See, because it's one of those things, I mean, if the vaccine means you are safe, right, then fantastic, people are going to go out there and live their lives, great. But if the vaccine means that you're not safe, you can still get it and spread it, then I wouldn't say it's an issue, but the issue would be if people think they're safe because they've had the vaccine, but actually they could still pose a risk. then it's something that I think we need to know, because not first, I think we know what people are like. If they get the vaccine and they think they're safe, they're just going to get on with their lives. And if they were told it is only to help against the fight, it's not a cure, it's a helping hand, then the people are, what's the fucking point of having it then? But just my concern would be that people may have the vaccine and think, fuck it, we're alright to do whatever we want. And as we have seen in the past, that don't work. I was thinking about it a moment ago, how people went on for ages about herd immunity, basically just let it spread and people will get immune to it. Well, unfortunately with this kind of illness that don't fucking work. But also, right, the increase over winter of cases was to be expected because of the weather, because people are more likely to get ill at that time of year, and people seeing their families and stuff over Christmas, but also people ignoring lockdown. But for anyone that would say, oh, herd immunity would have worked, well, that kind of gave an insight into herd immunity would not work, because the more you spread it, the faster it spreads, and the more people get it, the more people die from it. Especially when the virus mutates as it did, which isn't anything unusual. I mean, viruses evolve. They're basically trying to stay alive. That's what viruses do. They evolve and spread, just like us humans. Yeah, I mean, are things going to be better in 2021? Well, I don't know. Maybe with the help of the vaccines and stuff. I mean, will things ever be back the way they were? No, even though people are trying. But I don't think it's necessarily a good thing to go back to the way we were. Not entirely, anyway. I mean, the predictions would be that as spring and summer come along, cases will drop because of the weather getting better. Hotter weather, less likely for the virus to spread, unless it mutates. So I think things will get better into the summer, but then if people haven't still been careful, when the next winter comes, we could end up getting a big hit again. But I mean, like I said, I've not been keeping up with the story, the news of it all. I think over the winter period it was, over here anyway, the highest numbers of cases and deaths since COVID happened, which goes to show just how aggressive that new strain was, or is. fixating. But yeah, I mean, I'd still be interested to know what is being done in the world to investigate more exactly where this illness came from, because the general public, we're still in the dark on that, really. General consensus is that it is from a lab in China, but there's no news on any of that. Not lately, I've seen anyway. I mean, I could be wrong, maybe there is news on that, but yeah, the general consensus is that it's from the lab in China, but obviously China were refuting that for quite some time. But, and the thing is, we know what governments can be like, not saying that they are like that now, but I know I've mentioned it before, some time ago, that I'm pretty sure China, I mean, this is a fucked up thing anyway, I mean, just the thought of it, China bought up large amounts of debts of countries like America and Britain and a few other countries. So basically countries that were massively in debt, and for one reason or another China comes along and says, oh, we'll buy your debt. So why the fuck would you do that? That would be my first question. Why the fuck would you do that unless you're buying something off us and the way we want it to be dealt with is by you taking out our debt? If that's the case, pay us the fucking money and we'll pay the debt. Or for other shit, like for example now, where countries like America and Britain have, well, I don't know if America still have, but I mean, Britain has been paying out a considerable amount of money to people who are out of work, but there's still a lot of businesses that have closed. There's a lot of financial strain and stress which has been caused by this illness, and personally I think that if a Chinese laboratory is the source of it, and that laboratory is Chinese government run, which it will be because everything in China is fucking government run, then they should be held accountable. Now, in previous years or previous lives, the accountability would have been dealt with in war, but I don't think war is really an option anyone wants to pursue anymore, which I think is the right thing. But it's possible that China could have turned around and gone, well, you know, these debts of yours that we bought, well, we could always buy some more and do it that way. Which, if that was the scenario, I think government should come out and say, well, China are to blame, they are compensating us, and that money is going to go back to the people, because it's the people that have been affected globally. I mean, I've mentioned it before, I dread to think what effect COVID has had on places like India. I mean, they have millions of people packed into small cities. Their hygiene is not the greatest anyway. I mean, you wouldn't want to drink their water. Even if you're Indian, I don't think you'd want to drink their water. But a disease like COVID would spread like wildfire in somewhere like India, because just of the density of the population. I don't mean the cleverness, just how many people live in such a small area. Same with China. But this is the thing, since the start, China have lied about how many people there have been affected. But I mean, it's like Japan have very strict rules on what happens when you're ill and in situations like this, and their reasons for it are because they are also a very densely populated country, and they know that illnesses can wipe them out rapidly. Right, I've managed to waffle my way through that. So that's 2 coats on the other 2 legs. I'm not 100% certain about the cloth, so we'll wait and see how these come up. If they look a bit dull, I can always add an extra coat or 2. But right, for now though, that is me done, probably for a couple of days. But the next bit we'll be able to do on it is give them a light sanding and give them another coat clear. And then hopefully that'll be the legs done. And what that then means is tabletop time. Yeah. Okay, right, have a good one everybody. I'll see you on the next one.